We're good to go for our council meeting. Al, everything in order? Good. Okay, thank you. We'll call the meeting to order at 1:31. We'll give a very brief land acknowledgement. We begin the gathering by acknowledging that the land upon which we meet is the traditional territory of First Nations people who have a long-standing relationship with the land, water, and regions of Southwest Middlesex. Members of the public have been asked to contact the clerk if they wish to participate in this meeting. Today's meeting will be streamed live and well as recorded. Council, is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest or the general nature thereof? I see no hands. The agenda has been prepared and distributed. Are there any additions to the agenda? Seeing none, number 3 is off. Delegations and presentations. I have not been advised of any. Mike, that's still the case? Okay. And the consent agenda has been circulated. Are there any elements from 1 to 7 that you wish to pull out and discuss? Yes, Martin. Okay, Mark, which one?
No, I can't find it here, but it's the North Perth one. I would like us to support that one. And it. Pardon? Oh, okay. Yeah, in the North Perth one, it's to do with long-term care and trying to make it more likely that couples won't get separated when they go into long-term care.
I agree. I've experienced that in my wife's family. Following a 60-year marriage, they were separated at one point. So yes, we can do that right now. Would you like to make a motion to that effect, and we'll get it?
Yes, I would like to make a motion.
Is there a second for that? Deputy Mayor Schuldeis, thank you. All in favor? Carried to support the North Perth resolution. Are there any others? Was that this one? Okay, that's great. Thank you, Martin, for that. There's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Is there a motion that they you received for information? Councillor Vink, seconder, please. Councillor Myers, all in favor? Carried. Okay. Yep. And minutes of the council meeting 5A. We'll get those knocked off. Any errors or omissions? The minutes of the council meeting be accepted as presented. Take a mover and a seconder for that. Thank you, Councillor Choi. Councillor Haggett, all in favor? Carried. And 5C, our voucher reports. Thank you again, Council, for calling in. I understand there's a councillor or two that's clarification on that. I appreciate it. That the voucher reports be received as presented. Motion and a seconder for that, please. I'll move it. Moved by Councilor Deputy Mayor Schuldeis. All in favor? Carried. Committee of Adjustments. I don't believe there are adjustments. There is none. Yes, we got it. Yes. Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Your worship, just for procedural nature, can we get a resolution to approve the agenda?
Yes, we can. Boy, I'm missing this, Al. Yes. Any errors, any additions to the agenda or accepted as presented? A mover and a seconder. And I will not move this one. Deputy Mayor Schuldeis, Councillor Vink, thank you. All in favor? It's carried. There are no public meetings at this particular time. And Kevin, we're not letting you off the hook today. You've got a report on Simpson Park that has been previously approved, and you're going to give us some details of that today. I'll let you take the floor, and Mike, certainly Mike Henry can participate in this as well. All right. So, yeah. Take it away, Mr. Miller.
Previously in the 2023 budget, council had allocated $200,000 towards the rehabilitation of Simpson Park. So staff had gone in and dealt with streets, and they came back with a drawing and a format of adding a couple pickleball courts and basketball courts and refabricating the present washrooms that are there, as well as doing a walking path that goes in through the park with some additional benches here and there for people to take breaks and do their thing. There's been new swings that have been purchased, and they will be installed here by the end of the month. And there'll be a couple other pieces of playground equipment that will be removed that are kind of out of date. Parking lot will be extended. And basically the walking path will start at one end of the parking lot and will end at the other.
Thank you. Anything else you'd like to add to that?
Actually, they're pretty good. So the only thing that I wanted to is apologize to council because we've been a little bit of time with this one, but there was some sensitivity with the Ag Society and what was happening with the grounds there. With the baseball diamonds being, I guess, held there, there isn't a need for this one over in Simpson Park. So the outline of a couple pickleball courts with a basketball court that will have several options of it and layout. And there is the layout there for everybody to consider. I thought Kevin take it from there, but I just wanted to give you the reason we brought us to this date. We're anxious to kind of get going with it. And a lot of this can still happen while the weather's, reasonably well, and certainly into the spring, and have this thing ready for the first thing for use in 2024.
I might add that through our surveys and that, the walking paths were in demand by the respondents to surveys. So you've got both some athleticism in here and some nice quiet time as well, which I like. Council, any questions you'd like to ask Kevin to the chair? Yeah, Martin, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. In light of the fact that we don't have any public washrooms anywhere else, I just wanted to know $100,000 for a washroom. What kind of washrooms are we looking at? How elaborate this is?
The washrooms that I had quoted they're a prefab, so they're built off-site. They're solar panels on the roof, so that's all your lighting and all that. The lighting is all motion, so as soon as you leave the washroom, the doors close, the lights go off. As soon as you open the door to go in, the lights come on. So they're pretty self-sufficient. They come in, they do their measurements, they find out where your water and your hydro comes in. They do their measurements that way. They build off-site and they just drop it right on the slab that's previously there. Everything's AODA compliant. Yeah.
They're a quick way to get washrooms, and I don't think there's any building permit. May not even be required for it. Possibly, you have to check. But what about the old building? Are you going to raise that building, tear it down, the old cement block structure?
The old building will be torn down.
It'll be torn down.
Yeah.
Okay. They're currently being used for storage. I was wondering about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Go ahead, Martin.
Mayor Allen, if I could ask one more question. How long will the washrooms be open? Like, is it 24 hours a day, or?
That's all going to depend on really how the public treats it. If we can leave them open 24 hours and nothing gets wrecked or damaged, then so be it. We can use it. If damage starts to get done, then I guess we have to lock it up at the end of the day when staff leaves.
Yeah. So the behavior of the public determine that.
Yeah, if I may, Your
Yeah,
Worship, just jumping in. So many facilities like this also come with a feature if you want to have it so they're on timers. So they actually would lock at a certain point of the day if that's what you want to have happen. However, we don't want to discourage staff from getting over there, making sure we clean at the end of the night, that kind of thing. So those are things that Kevin will have to monitor as we move forward with this. But thank you for your comment. That's exactly it. We encourage the public to use these properly, and they're a nice feature to have, especially away from the downtown area when people are out walking around. So we hope that they'll comply as well. So thank you.
Okay. Any further questions? Yes. Deputy Mayor Schuldeis, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor Mayhew. I've been contacted by a few of the neighbors surrounding the park with some questions, and I've spoken to Kevin briefly about this already, but if you could just elaborate, will there be any trees removed, and what playground equipment that is currently there will be removed?
There won't be any trees removed. The swings that are there will be coming out and they're being replaced, just with something newer and a little safer. And then the teeter-totter and I believe the car will be the two pieces that will be removed. They're just not compliant anymore.
So the other two major pieces.
The other two major pieces will stay.
Okay. On the slides. Okay. Yeah, okay, yes, Counselor Haggett, please go ahead.
I think I'd mentioned that, about the walkway, right, that chip and dust for a year, right? Because I happen to mention, I think it should be asphalted for accessibility for wheelchairs and anybody that it's done forever, right?
Through your worship,
Yeah.
the asphalting is typical, it's much like a road. You would build up the road, let it sit for a year, settle, and then you would pave it. So this is the same type of scenario. You're gonna have some removal, you'll put the chip and dust in, you let it settle for a year, and then it'll pack quite nicely. So in 2025, this administration would likely come back to council and say, we'd like to pave that, leave it for council's decision, as well as maybe a little bit of an upgrade to the pavilion that is there as well to meet the newer standard of this park.
Sounds good. Okay. Council, last call for questions. Yes, Mark, please go ahead, Councilor McGill.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Mayhew. Yeah, this plan looks good. That whole facility has been underused for the last few years and in a little bit of disrepair. Could you talk about the basketball court a bit? Is that the way it would be done? It looks like one full-size court.
The basketball court, that's the original drawing that the engineers came back with, whereas I've been in talks with the gentleman that gave us the quotes for the pickleball courts, basketball courts, and he recommends instead of doing a full court, because you very rarely see 10 kids playing basketball against each other, he recommends you do 2 or 3 half courts, and then you have more mini games going on than you would full games. So then you'll get more interaction out of it, the more nets you put up.
Good point. Yeah, thanks, Kevin. That's a good answer. Yes, go ahead, Mark. Follow up.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Kevin. That sounds good. And so then the tennis would be staying at the high school and then pickleball would be here. Is that correct?
That is correct, yeah. And the pickleball lines are still painted at the high school, so if anybody still wanted to use those, they could.
Sounds good. That park is well used, Councilor McGill. It's really well used. I see grandparents with their grandchildren there every night after school. And there'll be benches to accommodate people that are watching their children or grandchildren, because they seem to be in short supply now. Yeah. Yes, Deputy Mayor Schuldice.
Thinking about Councilor Vink's comments, the washroom will sit on the existing pad that's there now for the washrooms.
That's correct, yeah.
So you don't have to worry about sanitary.
It's already there. They're gonna do their measurements. It's just basically having somebody hook it up.
Thank you.
That sounds good. Okay. Council, we'll deal with the recommendation. It's before you. Allowed ample time for questions, I think. What's your wish? Councilor McGill, Councilor Choi,
I'll move the motion, but we
Okay.
can do this.
and thank you, Councilor Choi, for seconding that. I'll call the vote. All in favor? All opposed? Motion is carried. And fire report. Mr. Henry, I'm looking towards you. I don't, I don't see our chief here. Yeah, Alan, please go ahead. Mr. Bushel, Mr. Bushel.
Well, Your Worship, I can't really speak to the specifics of the report. It's been presented to be accepted for information.
Okay.
The chief sends his regrets. Unfortunately, he had another duty that he had to attend to as an emergency service worker.
No problem. I understand. Thank you. The quarterly report for Q3 as submitted by the fire department, you received for information. A mover and a seconder, please. Councilor Haggett, Councilor Myers. Questions? All in favor? That is carried. Notice of motion, are there any? See none. Correspondence and petitions. Unfinished business. New business. Thank you, Councilor McGill, for bringing that important item forward in the correspondence. I appreciate that. County Council and Conference updates. Council, any announcements? Any dinners coming up? We all like to eat. Perhaps I can start off with an announcement. I had the pleasure of attending the commencement ceremonies. And as Kristen knows, we give away some checks for achievement awards of that nature. And it's always a pleasure to do that. And I received 9 thank yous for our participation in that from these students. And though it may seem like a modest amount of money, it's quite well appreciated by 9 of these students. So your money is well spent there. I just wanted to announce that. And if you wish to look at the names of the recipients of these, they're just right in front of me here following the meeting. Please welcome yourself to look at them. Any more announcements? Yes, okay. All right. Okay. Closed session, is there any? Table, there's none. This is going pretty quick, Mr. Henry. Yeah. We have bylaws. The bylaw 2023 be read and approved. It's confirming bylaw. Is there a mover and a seconder for that? Thank you, Councillor Choi. Councillor Vink. All in favor? Carried. Future meetings, we have down November 22nd at 6 p.m. And perhaps in announcements, I should have mentioned that I hope everyone attends a Remembrance Day service on November 11th. And I want to thank the councillors who will be present at other locations within Southwest Middlesex. I attended the Melbourne one on Sunday. It was very, very well done. And following that, I attended the Newberry one, which the weather cooperated as well. And we have Glencoe and Wardsville on November 11th. The future meeting, November 22nd at 6 p.m. Yeah. Yep.
Time. So just send council an update. So on the 22nd, the roads need study report will be coming forward. The December meeting as promised, I think Deputy Mayor asked to get back there, chicken. And then the Wardsville land, potential plan for fire hall will hopefully come back then. Put a little bit of a ruffle there, but we'll try to have that one for that meeting. And then development charges, as mentioned during budget, January, I think we're going to try to bring that one.
Look forward to that, Kristen. That'll be great. Yeah.
That's just a few of the highlights, but anyway, we had some time.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Any other council, any concern? Then the chair will adjourn this meeting at 1:49. 49-minute meeting. Pretty good.
29.
4:29. No, it's 1:50 I've got. Oh, that's right. It started at 1:30. Started at 1:30. Yeah, I thought it started at 1. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. 29